an examiner, Professor Malaki, who is there.
No protocol, just go and start talking.
So, my topic is an African hemerontological mystagogy towards the repositioning of witchcraft phenomenon among the Igbo. First of all, I go straight to the background of the study. What we have in our society that's clear to everyone: frustrating family background, backwardness, unexplained sicknesses and deaths, failed businesses, wet dreams, sleep episodes that are commonly attributed to witchcraft. Then I looked at the Christian responses and searched for solutions. Highlighted three people: Helen Obabio, who is carrying a crusade from 2010 in Akwa Ibom and Cross River State. She has child witches that are being molested one way or another, so much so that the government of Akwa Ibom State has already passed the Bill of Child Rights Act to protect those children. From 1978 to 79, Edet Aban also carried the same kind of crusade, and there are family prayer sessions that are going on mostly around the southeastern area to deal with the problems of witchcraft. Now we want to ask, what exactly is witchcraft? Is witchcraft the same as Amusu as we know in Igbo traditional setting? What is the foundation and nuances of Amusu? How is witchcraft made possible? And then what possible misconceptions of witchcraft are there? The scope of the study is among the Igbo. It is a hermeneutics, an ontology, a mystagogy. It's a hermeneutics in the sense that we are trying to interpret phenomenon that present themselves and we call witchcraft. It's an ontology because we are seeking the being and the existence of witchcraft among us, the possibility. And then mystagogy is simply a word I coined from the Catholic practice of trying to educate the baptized Christians after Easter, getting them know more about this. I employed it because I think this research also will open us up to know better about witchcraft. I say it is empirological in a sense that we are not going to the lab to examine physical data, but we are subjecting or configuring physical data to rational principles. And my method of approach is multidimensional, as advocated by Professor Madu. My literature review, conceptual framework, I talked about the etymological derivation of witchcraft, which came from the witchcraft of Old English, and that simply means the craft of the wise. In that Old English, the masculine of witchcraft, the masculine is wicca and the feminine is witcher, which translated into New English as witch and wizard. I talked about worldview stereotypes. What I mean by that is that we know everybody can talk about witchcraft, and what we can easily say is that they have nocturnal meetings. There are evidence of lycanthropy, which is the turning of a human being into an animal, and then they defy physical obstacles. I take the definition of Bob Young to say that he is of the position that witchcraft is occult and psychic. According to him, witches, however, unlike sorcerers. It's precisely, he was simply trying to say witchcraft is not a religion, but it is a psychic phenomenon. Farah and Farah, who are the writers of the Bible of Witchcraft, which I have here, a work that is so instrumental to this work, are of the position that witchcraft is a religion, and as a religion it has its own methods. Witchcraft and alloyed concepts. We have witchcraft and sorcery. Here we understand sorcery as the use of potions, concoctions, and in Igbo traditional religion, those people who are known for that is the Dibia. And we compared also witchcraft and divination. There are also other comparisons that I made, but I want to highlight these ones which are very important. I took the definition of fortune for divination to mean spiritual diagnosis of knowing what is in the future or what is hidden. Divination can both be psychic and symbolic, but we are looking at symbolic divination as it has to do with African traditional religion represented in Afa. Afa is a way of deciphering what is hidden, and the head spirit of Afa is Abu. Onwe Jogu and Dago are all in consensus about the position of Abu as the head of all the spirits. And in Igbo is called Abu Falatarinya Paneluko. And again, the idea of Komosu, who is God's wife, I will tell the mythical story of Komosu eventually. Then we are concluding from the Abbot says that every Libya is Mwamosu. From the myth of Komosu we shall see later, but not all Mwamosu is Didiapa. Every Didiapa is Mwamosu, but not all Mwamosu is Didiapa. Witchcraft and magic. Magic, of course, is a very indispensable part of witchcraft. Magic can be paranormal or ceremonial and then illusory. But here we are considering most importantly paranormal magic. And we gave the definition according to all. Paranormal magic in Igbo traditional religion can be understood as Abu, Arose. Historical development. Kia says that witchcraft is as old as the Paleolithic period, that is 40,000 years ago. And the precursor, the witchcraft itself is the precursor of cult of the feminine, which has a very big relevance in our today's religion, especially what Dan Brown did in Da Vinci Code, trying to bring back this cult of the feminine, and did a very nice work that rocked the world between 2005 and 2006. The cult of the feminine in the old religion, Inanna in ancient Sumeria, Ishtar in Babylon, Anat in Canaan, Isis in Egypt, and Aphrodite in Greece, all having corresponding masculine counterparts as Zeus, Baal, Lucifer, Yehoshua, Baphomet, Arthur, Merlin, and Leslie. I wouldn't want you to forget that because we are going to refer to it later. Now, Angeles talked about the gods and goddesses. Which Angeles, of course, is a witch, and she is the person who wrote the work Witchcraft Theory and Practices. And this is how he referred to the gods and goddesses. He said many of the planets are allotted one of his many names. Most of the days of the week are named for him. He is known as the Lord of Life and the Lord of Death. He is both the good guy and the bad guy, defender and destroyer. This is a Jewish writer who was alluding to the relationship between witchcraft and Christianity in precisely before the Inquisition. And he is trying to say that witchcraft and Christianity existed side by side before the Inquisition. In fact, Christians had to sometimes recline to the works of Jewish physicians who are also descendants of witches at the end of the day, in preference to some of the monastic practices of cure. Now this is the beginning of the problem of witchcraft in the West. The Cathari and the Albigenses, who are regarded as dissident religious movements and which radicalize the good-evil duality. They were known for anti-clericalism and heresy. It is because of them that the Inquisition began. But among the people of the Inquisition were the man called Heinrich Kramer and Jacob Sprenger. Both of them sought permission to also include witches in that. In their documents, Malleus Maleficarum, and Pope Innocent VIII eventually approved with the famous witch book Sumis Desiderantes and Motivus. And after the Inquisition, about 500 years of the Inquisition eliminated between 6,000 and 9 million witches and heretics, depending on the statistics you're working with. Pope John Paul II in 1919 convened a symposium to end the Inquisition officially and did an apology to the world for the Inquisition and its excesses. This is the religion of Wicca that began again about 50 years ago in the last century, trying to bring up witchcraft again in the West. It is divided in Galilean and Alexandrian witchcraft. And we have influences here in our movies we watch, Bewitched, Harry Potter, Legend of the Seeker, and then in the games we play. Socio-psychological theory, moral theory, I want to talk about demonological theory. Demons and angels are not easily demarcated. Principalities and powers, they are all the same. Taken from the Greek daimonon. This is Papupomen's take on witch. The origin of the devil. How do we begin to talk about the devil in the first place? This is the Greek myth to represent it. At the end of the day, Hades is the brother of Zeus, who is in charge of the underworld. This is the hierarchy of being in God's kingdom. You see the position of Lucifer, and eventually when man was created, he took the place of Lucifer, and this is the hierarchy of the dark kingdom. I want you to note Ashtar, Baal, Magog, Asmodeus, and Mammon. These are the images of Mammon, the horn god that was represented in...
I have to stop. They should be able to... Thank God, and when you are told that you have to... And you just went on and on as if you didn't hear anything. So I will have to stop.